She says she can taste metal. At first, I didn't understand what she meant. The anesthetic room had been calm up to that point. Routine, controlled. She was awake, talking normally, waiting for surgery. A laparoscopic gallbladder operation. Straightforward, the kind of case you expect. To go home the same day. She had been nervous initially, but relaxed once we started talking. We went through the anesthetic together. What would happen, how she would go to sleep, the usual reassurance, monitors attached, observations normal, everything exactly where it should be. We were preparing to start. Antibiotics first. Routine, something done every day. The syringe was handed over, injected intravenously, and for a few seconds, everything stayed normal. Then she looked at me strangely, confused. I can taste metal. At first, it barely registered, because patients say unusual things sometimes, but something about the way she said it made me pause. Then her expression changed. I don't feel right. That's the moment the atmosphere shifts, because before the monitors change, before the numbers move, sometimes the patient tells you first. She became restless suddenly, uncomfortable, looking around the room, like something was wrong. Then she said her ears were ringing. That's when it hit me. The syringe, the label, wrong drug, not antibiotics. Local anesthetic, and it had gone directly into the vein. I stopped everything immediately, called for help. Now the room changed instantly, focused, sharp, everyone realizing what this could become. Her heart rate began climbing, fast. She looked frightened now, trying to speak, but struggling to explain what she was feeling. Then her arm twitched, small movements at first, then more obvious. The toxicity spreading, fast. The seizure started suddenly, violently. People moved immediately. Protect the airway, oxygen on, more staff entering the room. The organized chaos that follows. When everyone understands how serious things have become. The seizure eventually stopped, but then the monitor changed, the rhythm slowed, became unstable, and suddenly, there was no pulse. Her heart had stopped. Minutes earlier. She had just been talking about her surgery. Now she was in cardiac arrest. CPR started immediately. Adrenaline prepared. Airway equipment opened. Compressions beginning. The room transformed completely now. Fast movements. Direct communication. Everyone working towards the same thing. And through all of it, one thought repeated in my mind. This should never have happened. Someone called for Intralipid, the antidote for local anesthetic toxicity. We waited for it, while compressions continued, the monitor unstable, rhythms changing, every second feeling longer than it really was. Then the Intralipid arrived, given immediately. Everyone watching, waiting, because this was the point where everything depended on whether it worked. Compressions continued. The monitor flickered, changed again. A rhythm appeared. Not normal, but something. We stopped briefly to check. And then, a pulse. Weak, but real. The room shifted immediately. Not relief, not yet, but hope. Support continued. Airway secured, ventilation controlled. Blood pressure supported, slowly. The rhythm stabilized, the pulse strengthened. The numbers began to recover, and only then did I finally have a second to think about what had happened. A metallic taste, that was the first sign, something so strange, so small, that it would have been easy to ignore. And minutes later, her heart had stopped. She was transferred to intensive care afterwards. Stable, supported, alive. And what stayed with me most was how quickly routine became catastrophe, because this wasn't an emergency, this wasn't trauma. This was the beginning of an elective operation, a normal day, a normal case, and all it took was one syringe,